You might feel inundated today with posts from me. I apologize if anybody really sees this and it's not, we're all not just living in a bubble and it's the Truman Show, but enjoy. It's 4:20, so I wanted to do more on the garden because in the last post I told you about maybe some benefits you might get from doing a garden journal. And this is where I put my notes. Our neighbor gave us some tomatoes, which was so nice of him. I mean, like 6 plants. It's beautiful. We're stoked. When I put up the garden videos today, that go with the garden, because if you're posting, you might want something to reference back, like when you notice, like if I notice mold, some kind of weird thing, or rain, or the nights I have to cover up the pots, whatever it is. Okay, and another thing that I noticed I kind of flaked on, I wanted to like try to tie things up. And buy books, buy old books. Don't buy the new books if you don't have to. This is a new one, but I've had it a few years. This is the Home Apothecary. I cannot get that out. Powerful remedies at your fingertips. And Sean and I were talking about it yesterday. Just like the pages are beautiful. They feel so gorgeous. Thyme and honey, respiratory elixir, and it gives you all of your information. What to be cautious about if you're, to be careful. Everything, dosage, with these beautiful illustrations, and allergy relief, and anti-phlegm, fever breaking, anti-mucus, anti-fever, vinegar socks. Salt socks are good too. Herbal fever compress, snore relief jelly. Wonder what's in that. Let's see. Half a cup of hot water, 1 tablespoon agar powder. And I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Natural gelatin alternative. 5 drops peppermint essential oil and 5 drops eucalyptus oil. Okay, well, turmeric tonic. We drink turmeric all the time. Great. Ginger, turmeric, pepper, lemon, honey. Yes, okay. So I suggest you look for one of these. If you can find one of these, just because I know that this is really great. Because it also shows pictures of the plants, if I'm not like actual. And that was why also the Mountain Rose herbs, they show pictures of the herbs and the plants, so that when you're planting your garden, you'll be able to reference back, this is what they're supposed to look like, instead of like trying to remember from the little, maybe if you keep the tabs in the plants, if you're smart, or like me, you turn them away and you lose them. That's a pain in the neck when they're small and you don't see the flowers yet, or you're not sure, because I get tons of stuff like that. I'm sure everybody does. So anyway, I put a map on it too. Draw a little map on. I haven't done it yet on that one, on this one, but I'll put a map in here. Normally it would be here, but I'll probably do it on the back, so I just know when I put something in. Okay, some herbal recipes. This was a good one. This is another one with the plant. Always look for books with the old books are going to have them, and they just have nervine stimulants. It is not often stimulants. We think of them. Nervous system disorders. If you're stressed, depressed, and worn out, the last thing you need is to have your system roused with caffeine-rich food, sugar, drugs, common remedies for the blues. Instead, mild herbs that gently and surely nourish and spark the system are appropriate. They activate nerve endings and increase circulation, providing nutrients, increasing vitality and zest. They neither provoke the system nor agitate it. Try lemon balm, peppermint, ginkgo, gotu kola, spearmint, wintergreen, cayenne, ginger, bee pollen, Euthyrococcus, ginseng, spirulina, rosemary, sage if you need a stimulant. So, that's one page. That was a lot. I just learned a lot right there. And buying the books, because you got to buy books. If your power goes out and you don't have your phone, this AI answering things, I probably shouldn't even said that. But anyway, you'll be out of luck. A lot of stuff, my dad was a gardener. He grew cannabis. My dad was a weed grower, but it wasn't legal back then. So he had to do it, in New York State, off the grid, so to speak, but we lived in town. So it was just always a really hectic October. This is a great book, Rule of the Bone, and there's a character in here, and he's a Jamaican guy, and he helps the main character in it with his life, and they move to Jamaica, and they go to a weed farm. It's 420, so I'm telling that story. and it's pretty cool. It's a really cool book about like growing your own food and medicine, and in a time when, you know, when we grew up, it was criminalized hard, and so that's my 420. And oh, and rolling down, when I lived in Florida, I lived back and forth between Florida and New York half time my whole life, basically, until I was a mom. And my uncle would take me, we'd go down to Lake Okeechobee and ride airboats and go back there, and he would pick up, but I didn't really know what was going on. And one of the houses was wild. There was an alligator on a chain around a tree with it skidded out, like it's like solid skidded out in the like sand dirt there. It's like, it's not grass. And he had monkeys in the trees that were screaming, and he said, just wait here, that'll be fine. And the monkeys were like, they screamed for a while, but then the owner called them off. The guy that he went to meet, you know, this is the 80s. This is the 70s, 80s, actually, because my mom passed in 80, and this was when he's babysitting while she's at work. He's watching me and him and my other uncle. So they lived in Lakeland, Florida. I went to Lakeland High School, and I went to Cumbie Road School when I was little. So anyway, that's what they were doing. They were just you know, moving weed, but that was a big, you know, it was a big deal. It was wild back then. I'll get into that. There's a post on it. I'll look for it and see if I can post it, because that's the sheriff that's so popular right now in Florida. That's his county, and he arrested my uncles, and he had this big marijuana bust sting, and I'm definitely going to look for it. They got caught because they were bringing, you know, they rode the boats. They did the boats, and my uncle said, I can make it from Miami to Lakeland, all the way up north, really, all the way up north, but he only had to make it to Lakeland, which is about halfway up the state, in the middle, all by boats, all by water, and I just got to be able to carry my boat over the road, just cross the road a little bit, but now it's dry, and I don't know what's going on, and this is a long video, 7 minutes, so, Rule of the Bone. Leon Uris' Trinity is a book that I read, Keeping Lucy, that's my husband, this book, right here, Trinity. That has my family's names in it, the two main characters, and it was my favorite book. Isn't that weird? All my people are pretty much dead, and my favorite book had Larkin and O'Neill, and those are my family names. So odd to think of it now, when I never really thought of it before. Too much. Enough that it was disturbing, but to see it again is wild, just looking at the bookshelf. But, so, buy your books. Oh, and Sean got me these. Okay, weird name I have, right? It's Greek, and it is also translated to Demeter. And my father named me after Father Damien, that went to Hawaii to live with the lepers, and he got leprosy and died there. I think they made a saint of him. And he was at... they have a whole library for him at the Mount Angel Abbey we went. There's a post on that behind me, too, for my my auntie's writings and our family stuff there at the Mount Angel Abbey Library. But he found these Damia. How cool is this? So, like, retro. Shut Up with a Fox. And it's, like, a groovy story. From one science fiction fan's most beloved novelist comes the eagerly awaited sequel to the Rowan. So here's the Rowan, and it's got Damia's children. God bless me with a phone call from my daughter, and Lion's Pride. It goes on. It's a whole like sci-fi series. But I'm reading Geronimo. Again, it's hard to read. It's hard to read, man. But it's worth a read. Son of Old Man Hat's a good one too. If you're looking for some native writing and you don't want to read, I don't know, what they're selling you right now. Look back at the old books and you see what happened to all the native tribes. Look at that, and now look around at our country for sale and how things are. A lot's the same. Nothing's new in history, and all the world's a stage. So, peace out.